Hi everyone, this is Anita Ladhani, licensed clinical social worker and energy practitioner. And I wanted to jump on real quick to remind you that the Sacred Space retreats are starting in September. I had pushed it a month because I had a lot of people requesting that, school was starting in August and they were trying to get ready for that. So now we've pushed it to September. So what is the Sacred Space retreat and why should you consider joining? Well, the Sacred Space Retreat is a place to come together and really work on yourself. So there's two levels to it. Level one is a journey of figuring out who you are. And now more than ever, that is a question that people are really asking. What's important? What do we do? Where do we go from here? How do we deal with all of this stuff? How did we get here? And yes, it's a pandemic, but individually it's affecting us because we're questioning, how did we end up getting to where we are? And that's exactly the journey that Sacred Space Level 1 retreat will take you to. You will stop and pause and you will reflect on all the stuff that happened to contribute to why you became, who you are right now. You will start to identify limiting beliefs. And again, awareness is key. So you can't change anything unless you recognize that something is a problem. So once you recognize and you realize, those limiting beliefs that have been just an autopilot guiding you, hopefully then we will work together to help you release those limiting beliefs and then hopefully replace them with more positive, beneficial beliefs. The other stuff you will do is also, reflect on your traumas and work on releasing those. You will sit and, you'll do work in terms of thinking about, what do you like? What do you enjoy? Because at this stage in your life, what you thought you enjoyed and what you think, you liked may not still be true because you've grown and you've evolved. So we may still be thinking from, the mindset of a teenager or someone in our 20s when now we are, in our 30s, 40s, 50s, and we're different, where we've grown. And we don't always stop and pause and think about what is it that I'm about? What is it that I enjoy? And ultimately, it's about remembering why you chose to be born. It's about, remembering, what are your gifts? Because once you get clarity on who you are, then it's about what are my gifts and why am I here? Why am I here in this life? Is my purpose to raise my kids, or is my purpose, and of course that's an amazing purpose for mothers, but is there something more I'm supposed to do with the gifts that I've been given? And Sacred Space Level 1 retreat will help you do that. It's going to be 2 times a month for 5 months. So we're starting in September, we'll end in January. And it's really not that big of a time commitment but we're getting to all the fun, all the important stuff. So we're going to be meeting on Sundays, 2 Sundays a month for just 2 hours, from 12 to 2. That's it. And in those 2 hours, we're really going to dive deep and do the work we are going to do to then help you slowly release and the layers of the onion so you get to the core of who you are. Now, Sacred Space Level 2 retreat is fantastic. That's something brand new that we're doing. And that came because people wanted to dive deeper about the journey of our soul. Now, this is not your soul or my soul. This is just souls in general. What is the journey of this so-called soul that we talk about? What is the soul? How did we come into this body? Have we had other lifetimes? We'll explore reincarnation. We'll explore heaven and hell. We'll explore the different planes of existence. We'll talk about chakras. We'll talk about, auras. We'll talk about karma. We'll talk about, the benefits of meditation. We'll talk about religion versus spirituality, and we'll try to come to a place where we'll talk about death, the whole process of death and what happens when you die. We'll talk about, why you chose to be born and how did you get here? And, why are certain people in your life? Why are certain lessons coming up? And the way we're going to do that is by reading certain books. So in my journey of being the 47-year-old that I am, I've been reading and reading and reading since I was 15, 16 years old. And this is my attempt. My intention is to share what I've learned with you. And of course, so together we'll be reading certain chapters from certain books, and we'll be discussing that. And of course, there's other stuff, I'll bring in. We'll do, a past life regression. We'll actually do that in both the retreats, and so on and so forth. And so with level 2 retreat, it's going to be held 2 Tuesdays a month. So it's going to be Tuesday evening, only 2 times a month for 2 hours each. It's 7 to 9. So it's really just a 4-hour commitment per month. And so you may think, well, why am I paying so much money for just 4 hours? Well, because the content is going to allow you to dive deep. It's just that intense. And how, the other question I get is, how are you, doing a 4-day retreat over the course of 4 days or 5 months? Well, it's really simple because, in the retreat, when we met in person, there was a lot of downtime. We were doing yoga, we were doing meditation, we were breaking for meals, we were spending time, walking on the beach and doing drum circles and what have you. All that stuff obviously is not happening in an online format. So that we're really just focusing on the crux, the main work that you're going to be doing. And spacing it out is actually the best thing, because what it does is allows you time to process and integrate the changes that are happening. Because one of the things that we also learned that, there were so many changes that happened, so many beliefs that were changed and transformed over the course of the weekend, that people left kind of sort of, feeling euphoric, but then the feeling didn't continue. This gradual sort of learning and transformation will be really practical and beneficial and permanent, so that you will slow and steadily evolve into the person you're supposed to be. So having said that, we start in September. So there's maybe a week and a half. I'm hoping the group will be a nice small group of no more than 8 to 10 people. I will share the links. I have to get a drink of water. I will share the links as soon as I finish the call. Finish this talk. Take care. Love and light. God bless.